I don't know if the oh, maybe like this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hi, people. This is my second video, and today I will talk about a very, very important subject to me. That I don't know how to do a YouTube video introduction, so we're just gonna start talking now. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I saw a video of a girl on TikTok who was like, she was giving her take on I do not know what, but it was basically on religion. And then she was like, if you're a woman in religion, I don't trust you because you're stupid. And I was like, but then the more she was talking, the more I was like, okay, this is a problem of a lack of individuality in itself, not so of being a woman in religion. But also, I understand her point because we are in a deeply patriarchal society and white society based on where you live. And there are some practices in religion or belief systems in religion, values, morals that seems like that seem like they cater to the patriarchal system, and also some kind of cater to white supremacy. But that's a different subject. That's like, if you listen in history class, you would understand why I'm saying this. Am I blaming it on religion? Yes, but I'm blaming it on the man made side of religion, which is not what we're here to talk about today. Today, I'm talking about individuality and why individuality is important to strengthen your faith and to understand your faith as well. Being a woman and being religious makes you dumb. Does it? Does it not? I think being, yeah, I think it does actually. I think it does. Let me try to put it this way. I'm speaking on women because I am a woman. I'm not going to speak on men. I don't know what men go through. I have no idea. But I do believe that if you go to church, you do not have any critical thinking. You do not have any fundamental sense of self. You're gonna do. You're gonna make dumb decisions. You're gonna become a follower, and you're gonna be an empty shell that's just following. And that's not what you want to do, especially not when you follow religion, because when you guys do that, you start going around talking about some Yalla, you're a sinner, and da 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 da, just like making enemies out of everybody because you do not have a sense of self. You're just following a religion without really having understanding the essence of it, right? Today, I'm gonna cut this. I want to talk about it in three point of views. Two, as a black person, as a woman, and then I'm gonna bring it back to religion, to the church. First, as a black woman, um,
Cultural identity is a prime example of this. As people of color following religion, sometimes we kind of feel a clash to follow our culture and then religion. But yeah.
part number one, being a black woman in today's society. I live in Canada, so I am in a very white, like, environment, depending on where you are, because there are places in Canada where there's more immigrants. But still, where I am from, it's kind of pretty white. Um, being a black woman shapes a lot of your identity, whether you want to accept it or not. And a lot of us try to like kind of not, but I think it's very important that you do. Um, you're going to try to ignore the fact that you're a woman. You're going to try to ignore the fact that you're black until you cannot anymore, and it's going to catch up to you. When I say you're going to ignore, I don't mean like, oh my God, I'm not black. I mean more so like, sure, these things happen to black people, but it's never happened to me, so whatever.
And here I'm very much talking about that time and space when you were in middle school and it's just not that important because you're a kid.
Until one day it catches up to you when you're like, oh, this could very much happen to me and probably has happened to you. And I'm not saying make that your whole identity. I'm not saying that you need to start acting like a victim now. I'm just saying you need to start accepting who you are. You need to start acknowledging who you are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, canonically, philosophically, all of the lace. You got to start acknowledging this, because once you start acknowledging this and you accept it, that's when you can start building your morals, your belief systems, your principles, your values, all of those. All of these things come from who you are. If you have no sense of who you are, it's going to be very hard to have footing in life. And I'm saying this as someone who, I thought I was so like, I thought I was so firm on who I was with religion until I realized I really wasn't, because I had no idea who I was. I was so insecure in myself that I was just like, yeah, I'm a Christian, and yeah, like sinning is bad. And then I would just, I don't know, like I would give off that image that I was this like super judgmental person, which was so hard because I remember being in high school and I had friends who would not tell me things, and I was like, why wouldn't you tell me? And they were like, cuz you're like this like perfect Christian. And I was like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, hello, what's not clicking? I don't know what I'm doing here. Individuality is important to build your spirituality. Being a girl in religion and you have no footing will make you dumb. Why? Because most religions have men speaking up on the podium, up on the stage, up on the whatever. Most religions have men in a position of power. If you cannot have a sense of self, you are just going in an institution and following what a man's telling you to do with no real, like logical reasoning behind it, which is, let's take away the religion of it. You go in an institution and just listen to what a man is saying and follow it blindly. Doesn't that ring a bell? Hasn't this happened a lot in history, and that it ended up in some people being oppressed? Exactly. You gotta have that individuality. So you go in there and sometimes you're like, eesh, I don't think I'm liking what I'm hearing. You know? When I was 15, I went to church, and the pastor was talking about this woman who was going up on stage once, and she was wearing a dress, and every single step that she was taking, she had to like kind of pull down her dress because it was too tight, and it was a bodycon dress. And he was like, if you have to pull down your dress every step that you take, maybe that's because that dress is too short. The reasoning behind the message was to be modest, and I was like, me personally as a kid, I've always been for women. Even when I wasn't talking out loud, I've always been for women. So I was sitting there like, what? Can we talk about Jesus? What's that got to do with me? And I took that in, and because I was going to church and I didn't have much sense of self, I just knew that the message kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I just left and was thinking, oh, yeah, okay, I have to be careful what I wear. I can't wear dresses because people are going to look at the way that I walk. And actually, fun fact, subconsciously, every single time I would wear a dress and I would pull it down, I felt so dirty. I felt dirty because I was like, oh my God, people are thinking this is too short. Why are you wearing it? Because I just went in an institution and I followed what a grown man had to say about the way that I should be dressed, and I let that get into my head. Is it his fault? No. I mean, the message could have been worded better, but it's not his fault. The problem stemmed from me because I didn't have a sense of individuality. I didn't know what I was standing for, and I didn't know why I was going there. And that's the problem. When you don't know why you're going somewhere, it's very dangerous. You don't know why you're going to school. Like, I mean, elementary and high school, get it. You don't know why you're going to college. You don't know why you're going to university. Maybe I don't know. Like, take some time. think about it, and then go. This is why some people are like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm dropping out. Because then you're just like a shell, just like learning stuff, and you don't know what to do with what you're retaining. It's the same thing with church. Same thing with the mosque. Same thing with any type of religious institution. So let me go back to the point of the girl who said being a girl and being religious makes you dumb. She was right. If you're a girl who has no individuality, if you haven't figured out who you are, if you haven't accepted who you are within society, aka black woman, if you're a black woman, if you haven't accepted the fact that you're a black woman, you're going to let people tell you what to think, and that's not a good way to go about it, because as a woman and as a black person, it's very important that you know where you stand on certain issues. You can't just be like, yeah, well, whatever. Because the day, I don't know, a white person says the N word in front of you, and you just, everybody turns to you in the room, they're going to expect you to react. I know it sucks. It really sucks, because why should I have to react to entertain you guys? But it's going to happen. And then it's like you're going to have to make your position known. It's annoying, but people have expectations of you. And that's the thing that I felt like, the reason why I felt like it was important to talk about it is because being a girl, people have expectations of you very early on in your life, which is why a lot of girls kind of build their emotions very early on in life. And that's why sometimes people see girls in high school who have emotion, who has opinions, not emotions, opinions, and they're like, oh my god, she's so like annoying, she's so strong-minded, da 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 da. I don't know, like, she's so stubborn. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. But no, actually, that's just no, actually, that's just a girl who discovered who she was from a very early age. Maddie knew who she was from a very early age. I was not Maddie, you guys. But there was a girl in my high school who was Maddie. She was a feminist, and let me tell you, people hated her for it. The men, the women, people were on her ass because she was a feminist. But you know what? Today I think about all the things that she said at school, all the things that she taught me, and I'm thinking, like, wow, she really just knew who she was. She really just knew. And I kind of envy that. Anyways, individuality is so important before you start building your faith, building your relationship with God. Um, Actually, not even building a relationship with God before you even develop that sense of individuality is something that you can do. Going to church before having the sense of individuality is where it can be dangerous, because you don't really know what you are, the things that you're like kind of adopting, I guess, retaining. You're just going there and you don't really know what's going on. That's not a good way to go about life. You can't just walk in a room and not know what's going on. I mean, you can, but like you don't know what's going on. And then it's not as interesting, you know? Um yeah, be yourselves. Accept who you are as well. Like, I'm sorry if you're a woman in this world and you're talking about some, yeah, I don't really care about the state of the world. I mean, there are things in this world that are meant to oppress women. You have to please, you have to be aware. You have to understand. And
Oh my days, this video is so long, but like so interesting. I don't know what to cut, y'all.
the reason why you also have to be aware of these things is because religion can also be weaponized. And you have to be aware of that. Because if you become the weapon and you don't know you are the weapon, the repercussions are going to fall onto you. But when you know where you stand with yourself, with God, you have the ability to not become a weapon against an oppressed group of people or against society, because the institution became a weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's really just all about individuality. Be Sorry, I was gonna stop singing the Pride song. Be who you are. Anyways, so this was my take on it.
And genuinely, we've heard enough. We're good. Like, that was my take. We're good. Ivy, I promise you, we get it. We get it. Stop the video. Like, oh my D.
If we want to talk about it on a point of view of the Bible, I'm not cut out for this. I'm not cut out for this conversation. I haven't finished the Bible. I'm not gonna talk about something that I haven't finished. It's like I'm not gonna start talking about, I don't know, Colleen Hoover's Verity if I haven't read the last pages of Verity. Like, hello. Those who watch Verity know what I mean. Like, I mean, you don't even have to, like, those who read Verity.
No, seriously, guys, I'm ending the video here. Like, I'm so done with myself. What am I even saying? It was great sharing my take with you guys. And I hope you guys like it and have opinions that you can comment. Okay, bye.
The video's over, guys. The video's over.